Alrighty. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this new episode of the Jersey Dumont podcast. Today's episode, I am joined by an incredibly inspiring woman who is a lawyer, qualified mediator, and non executive director with a long standing background in health and social care, a mother, and a multiple marathon runner. Badass, I know. Every time I see her stories and posts on Instagram, she honestly leaves me just jaw dropping with her resilience, passion, and power. So I'm super, super excited to welcome Somayeh to the show. Hi, Somayeh.
Hi. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. It's wonderful to be here.
No, thank you so much for being here with me. I literally can't wait to dive into the questions with you today and get chatting all about resilience and what it takes to push your body beyond the limit to make it to the finish line in a marathon, but also to see how this mindset can support you in your day-to-day life and career. But before we do so, please, can you tell our listeners a little bit more about yourself?
Right. I think you've done a brilliant intro. And I think, as you um, said, I am Iranian-British, moved to UK in 2005 and choose to call it here home. I'm a single parent of 11-year-old girl. I love her so much, and she helped me to grow since she's born, and that's my main reason to do things I'm doing today. I'm a lawyer by profession, amateur runner, and I have enthusiasm for social justice and lots of other activities I like to do to give my time back to the community. That's me.
I love that so much. And obviously, you're a very passionate runner. I mean, your Instagram is called Somayeh Runs. So I want to dive into that. How many marathons have you run so far by now?
12 marathons. But
What? Holy shit.
yeah, it's not huge in comparison. Some people run like 50 or within in a year. But
Mm.
then maximum I have run in 1 year, it's been 3 so far. Last year I ran 2, a year before 1. I the only time I ran 3 was after COVID. All my races was put back together,
Oh,
so I'm
wow.
never gonna do that. It was just like running a marathon every 2 weeks was tough. Yeah.
Wow, that does sound tough. And I just have to say, I have never run a marathon. So 12 to me just sounds incredible because I've just done zero. What kind of inspired you to actually start running marathons, and how did it also impact your mindset? Because I know it's not just your body that takes you obviously to the finishing line, it's also what you think in that moment and how you think about yourself and what you can do, right?
In my story of running marathons, it comes from the time when I was at my darkest place in my life. So it was just my relationship with my daughter's dad broke up as soon as she born. I was just finding my way to be a mum for the first time, and it was huge change to my lifestyle. And it was suddenly found myself also responsible for household, and every decision involves my daughter.
Yeah.
And then and my parents weren't living here, so I was kind of totally without support from family or anyone else. So I was lucky I had friends who were helping me a lot, but I just been going through so much emotion and thinking I can't do it anymore. And then that the tipping point was for me when my daughter was diagnosed with, she had 3 lumps on her rib, and I was just a rib cage, and I was thinking, oh my god, is it the cancer? So we went through all the medical tests. Luckily she was clear within a year, and then I said, okay, I'm going to run a marathon or half a marathon for a charity, children with cancer. So I started training for half marathon. then then on the day of running it, I was scared. I just pulled out and said, I'm going to do 10K, not half a marathon. But I
Hmm.
did it. I enjoyed it. I finished it. And then I said, okay, I've done. And I raised some money for the charity, good cause. I said, okay, that's it. And then after that, I had another colleague who's running a marathon in 2 weeks' time to raise money for cancer research. I said, "Oh, okay, 2 weeks' time. Yes, I sign up and I do it." I was a bit drunk as well, so I
I love
agreed with
that.
with a colleague. Said that she said, "Oh, I'm running on my own." I said, "I can't come with you." We stopped every mile to take a selfie. It took us 6 hours 30 minutes to finish. I just thought, what an achievement! And I got into running, and every week joined Nike running club in Oxford Street every Thursday evening, running with others. The community was amazing, and the support I received, and I just found myself I was in the different place. Nothing was dark anymore. I was handling everything. I was doing a very challenging job at the time. I was a register manager for care homes. It was quite demanding. My daughter was 3 or 4, and then I said, "Ooh, I can go back to law school and finish my law degree as well," because that's something I left before I got pregnant with my daughter, and I was always planning to finish, but I thought that's that that's not gonna happen. But I did. It did happen, and alongside of study, working full time, looking after my daughter, I ran 12 marathons too. So
Damn, gosh, so you are truly badass. This
thank
is really, really inspiring. And I love that basically it was your daughter, right, that got you then into
yeah.
running.
Yes, it was her. It was her. It was my again, I it's so funny because on Saturday, I had to run 15K, and this was after Berlin Marathon. In September, I had injury, so we decided with my coach, I come off
Mhm,
from running completely, then do a lot of strength training, so when I
mhm,
come back, I'm stronger. But adding up that extra mile every week, it's been a huge mindset. I used to run 15K before I start work in the
mhm,
past. I used to get out early in the morning, 15K and work. But that Saturday run was a huge work for me. Just a whole
mhm,
entire week, I was thinking of it. How I'm gonna run 15K. And it's just that shows that how your mind plays on you and how
mhm,
you quickly lose it. And then as I started running, I was thinking of where I was before running, to
mhm,
keep myself going because honestly, as I got out of home, I said, "I'm not gonna finish 15K." In my head, my mind was playing so that I'm not gonna
mhm,
do that. I'm probably gonna stop. And then I started thinking, wow, when I started running, uh, I was really low. I was very depressed, and it was just how this took me out. And then I went one. I said, "Okay, I do 1K after each other." Then I got to the point I did the 15K, and I came home. So it's just I think all little steps and break it down. Every
mhm,
anything is huge, and you think you can't do it. Just break it down and say, get yourself to the next level, and then have enough reason to go to the next one. So
mhm.
that's the way.
Gosh, I love that. Well done for coming
Thank
back to it like so strong. And that's such an important message there as well, to really take it one step after another. Because big goals, like a marathon to me sounds scary as fuck. I'm not gonna lie. But as you just like describe it now, like just like 1 kilometer and then the next and then the
yeah,
next, it really just takes out this like fear of this huge thing of like marathon running. Like, yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's I think that's a big people make things too big, then
Hmm.
they decide to not do it. So yes, 42 kilometers is long. Sometimes my mum says that, "How do you do it? 42 kilometers? It's too long." And
Yeah.
then and look, there are people who do ultra marathons, they do 100K. There are people who do a lot longer, and then how they do
Hmm.
it. So it's just I think everybody get around it by just
Hmm.
making it smaller and then make it achievable and build on up, on
Hmm.
top of that. So it's just for me, I learned the lesson about marathon running in a wrong way around, just signing up 2 weeks before without training. I don't recommend to anyone. But then I think that was kind of proved to myself anyone can do it. Yeah, it took me
Yeah.
6 hours, 30 minutes. Uh, it's fine.
Mhm.
And then next time I did it 5 hours when I tried again. And then now I'm trying to work on my time to bring it maybe some days sub 4,
Mhm.
even sub 3. I don't put any limitation. I know I'm old, I'm getting older, but in my head, I'm 22. Anyone asks me, so I'm 22. And one day, maybe I run a marathon sub 3 hours. Who
Mhm.
knows? Or maybe not, but that's where I'm heading.
I'm sure you will. Like I have no doubt in you. How do you kind of like balance though, like this constantly like pushing your limits with making sure you don't like burn out along the way and to also like keep it sustainable?
Yeah. Again, before running, I was the type of person I would push myself to the point that I completely burn out and I
Mhm.
couldn't even find a way to come back. I think one of the things I learned throughout, I can't say exactly whether it was my running or my daughter or whatever it was or my lifestyle.
Mhm.
One things I learned in past 10 years, when to stop and when take that break and when I see it is hard, just so that it is hard. Because before I remember, I never ever used the word tired in my life. I thought this is really bad things. I shouldn't say I'm tired. I should keep carrying on. But then now I do often say, I am tired. I
Mhm.
need to rest. And I do. And I say, yeah, there are thousand things I could do. But right now, I want to lie down on the sofa or in my bed and watch Netflix. That's the time for me to do that. Oh, and I don't have any hesitation to pick up the phone and talk to my friends saying that, look,
Mhm.
that party you invited me this week, probably I'm going to give a miss because I need some rest. But then my friends understand, and we can always reschedule and do things together.
Mhm.
And usually, I have everything on my diary is set. So all my weekends is planned usually at the beginning of the year until end of the year. I know what I'm doing throughout those weekends, and yeah, just being organized and no hesitation to say it's a time to stop and rest.
Yeah, so it's also really about being honest to yourself and say,
Yeah,
"Hey, I really need to rest now," and then take the time and the action to say, "I rest now," but also
yeah,
being honest with others, obviously, and say, "Hey, this weekend I can't make. I really need to like recover first and think about myself first."
yeah. Yeah, that's very important. I remember my dad used to tell me this, and I didn't understand him. He used to say when I just had my daughter and I was single parent, he just said that, look, you need to look after yourself. And I couldn't get him.
Mm.
Said that no, I've got a he was saying that if you're not here, nobody else is going to look after her. So you need to look after yourself. And right now, I know some mums they deal with this guilt feeling
Mm.
of not doing things for themselves or not taking that break to go for a spa break or something with their friends because they always want to be around for their children or family.
Yeah.
I think that's so wrong because I don't have that guilt. I do book things for myself. I do book weekend away. Just is mine, either running or either spend time with my friends, a spa or something, because I know that when I come back, I'm a better mum. And I don't want my daughter leaves with that resentment that I think I could have enjoy myself, but I didn't do that because of looking after her. So she's free from that feeling, and I am enjoying my life, and I'm better person to look after her.
I love that because you're truly leading by example and also role modeling for her that it's important to take the time out because obviously like you are her biggest role model and she will
Yeah.
absorb everything you do. So teaching her how to live your life in a sustainable way by doing it yourself, I think is the best way to do it.
Yes, and I think I'm an example that I can prove that it hasn't affected anything in our relationship. And she always tells me she loves me and she can't live without me. So that proves even if
Oh,
I'm looking after myself and taking that decisions of blocking out time for myself, it doesn't have any impact in my relationship with my daughter. Yeah, we have a strong bond. We do argue a lot, but then we also
Part of
have
it.
that love as well. We share, and a random out of nowhere cuddle comes or hugs comes to me and saying that suddenly I love you and I can't live without you. I think that's talks a lot about the
Yes.
relationship.
That's like worth more than anything,
Yeah.
I guess. Oh, you are an incredible mother. Like
Oh, thank you.
there's zero doubt. What advice would you maybe give anyone who also wants to become more resilient? We already talked about obviously like taking the time out for yourself, but is there anything else that you would recommend to become like mentally tougher, to be able to either race marathons like you, or to just be a better mum or a better leader or just live a better everyday life?
Right. My answer to this is it could be a bit weird. We don't need to do anything to become more resilient. We're born with resilience. We are born with positive mindset. And I think about that so many times that if you look at a baby just born, they don't stop crying until they get what they want. When they toddler, they don't have any fear of fall 100 times until they can start walking. So we've
Mhm.
done that. We all have done it. We all have gone through that. How many times as a teenager, we went back to our parents, on and on and on until the moment they finally gave in and gave us what we wanted to. So we do have that. We did resilience and all these things is within us. So what happened is as we grow up, I think we lose that passion and also the thing we want something. If you really, really, truly want something, if you want to really want run a marathon, you're going to do it. Nobody's going to stop you. And sometimes in the office, people come and ask me, saying that, "How you do it? I want to lose weight. I want to be fit." So that you just, if you want, you just come into office in your running gear, and then at lunch break, we just go out together and we run. You should want it. It should be your priority. If it's not your priority, if it's not something you keeps you awake at night or not planning for it, maybe it's not your thing, and you have to work on that first. Once you work on that and make it your thing, you're going to do it naturally. You don't need to do anything else.
Absolutely. Like, I absolutely love what you just said because it truly, one, it always starts from within. But also, what I always say is, you already have everything that you need. Like,
Yeah,
you already are a marathon runner if you want to be one.
yeah,
You already are like a gym bunny if you want to lose weight. Just go to the gym and do it and identify yourself as that person and really have like a strong intrinsic motivation as well that gets you there. And that's all about having a strong why you want to do it. As a baby, we wanted to walk. There was like no
yeah.
other option. We
No,
wanted to walk. That was our why. And that's enough. It doesn't need to be anything like crazy that's like for the better of humanity or whatever. No, it's just enough if you want it.
that's exactly the way, yeah, I describe it. And
Mhm.
also, it's just people say motivation. All these motivational quote, whole positivity. It's important. I like them,
Yes,
and I do read them. But then I think they're all secondary. The primary comes to back to us.
100%. So when it comes to your wants, what cities will you be running next? What is next on your agenda? What are your next big goals that you want to make real?
I want to get a 6 star in marathons, which is running. There is a talk. It's going to become seven. Even become more
Oh,
difficult,
wow.
but then it is possible. But so
Mhm.
there are six major marathons in the world. One is London, Berlin, Chicago, New York, Boston, and Tokyo. And they are planning to add Sydney to it. So if you run all these six cities, if they make it seven, Sydney as well, then you get one big medal of all this. So that's my major goal to get that. And I was on the way to get 4 stars last year,
Mhm.
so I had place for Chicago and New York, but unfortunately had to postpone that to this year because of injury. And I think that was the best thing happened to me. And it's just, this is the thing, at the time something bad happened. You are so angry, upset, all the emotion. But then right now, looking
Yes.
back, thinking that's the best thing happened. All these 5 months of strength training I've done, my legs are ready, my cores are strong, and I think I am ready to do those runs this year. So I've got Chicago and New York coming in autumn. I've got Manchester in April. Manchester is for my kind of setting a baseline after
Mhm.
injury, so it's not any big goal or anything. And I was lucky to get place with Olympic Marathon Paris for mass participants. This is the first time happening in the world that allow amateur runners like me to run the same marathon route
Mhm.
of the elite runners. So we are going to run between men marathons runner and then before women.
Oh
So
my
it's
god.
going to be start, yes, at 9 o'clock at night, and I never ran a marathon at night in city of Paris. So I'm
Wow.
so looking forward for it. The only thing is I'm waiting for the last part of registration for
Mhm.
to come through. That email I'm checking every single minute to come
Oh.
through. So that was my, and honestly, this is something I can't believe. It was my 40th birthday, 2020. With COVID and everything, I couldn't have a big party. I had a small party with the family, and my family said that make a wish. I said, for fun, I made a wish saying that I'm going to Paris Olympic for 2024 to run a marathon. Everybody laughed,
No
and I
way.
think I said I even laughed myself. I didn't even. No, it is ridiculous for somebody like me thinking I'm going to Olympic, but that was the fun things I did. And early this year, no, actually early last year, the opportunity came out to do lots of challenges. I think I
Mhm.
did 139 challenges. I ran over 1,000 kilometers, then got
Damn.
into the ballot. Then my name came out of ballot. So hopefully, once I do the final part of registration,
Mhm.
I'm running the Olympic marathon,
You
which I
will.
wished as my 40th birthday wish.
Oh my gosh, that is like literally a full circle moment for you right there, isn't it?
Yeah, something, it's just that's tells so much. Until the moment, I'm
Yes.
standing at the start point, but I'm just thinking, you can wish anything you want. You may not get exactly what you wish for, but you may get as close.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I love that so much for you, and I can't wait to root for you
Yes, thank
to
you.
run in Paris and all the other places and to get your 6 or 7 stars if they
Yes,
change
yes.
it. This is truly, truly amazing. I'll be rooting for you, like, no
Thank you.
doubt. One last question before we go into a fire round of questions.
Okay.
What does personal leadership mean to you?
Right. I think personal leadership is all about self-awareness.
Mm.
Know who you are, where you are, be honest about your area of that you need to develop, and be also honest and accept your strengths, because often women, like, as the way we grew up, especially for me growing up in oppressive environments, so it's hard for me to accept any credit. Even somebody give it to me, I say no, 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 it's
Mm.
not me. And I have worked on myself last few years to just accept it. Yes, I have achieved something and I am doing something right. But then also there are things, many, many things I can develop and I can get better at. And even in running, I can get better and run faster. In parenting, maybe I can get more patient with my daughter or do different things. In every aspect of your life, you can get better. But it doesn't mean that you're not good enough yet.
I love that. And you definitely deserve a big pat on the back.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks.
You have done so much. No, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom today with me and with everybody listening. Before we end the episode, there's always one last like fire round of questions
Okay.
that you should answer only like one word or maximum one short sentence.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
And before we dive in, I'm going to ask you, tell me a number between 1 and 10.
7.
Ooh, okay, because this is the amount of questions I will ask you.
Oh my god. Okay.
Okay, so are you ready?
Yeah,
Awesome. What is the Somayeh way of living and leading your best life?
happy.
Love that. When shit hits the fan, what do you tell yourself to get through it?
I have no control over anything but myself.
What is your key habit for success?
Key habit for success. Oh god. Mm, keep keep going and one step at a time.
Love that. What is your favorite book you would recommend to everyone?
Oh, that's a hard one. But recently, I listened to Midnight Library. I love that book. It's so much. It in that book. I recommend anyone to listen to it.
I heard about it. I need to put it on my book list.
It's I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it's a story about what if you go back to a library, you
Mhm.
can choose it indefinite number of life and undo all your regrets and try to
Mm.
live that life again. You know, the decision you made and you
Mhm.
regret now, you think if you did it something different, your life would have been a lot better or something like that.
Mhm.
So what if, and then what's going to happen?
Oh, okay. I'm even more intrigued now. I need to get it. All right, next question. What advice would you love to give the listeners?
What advice? Okay, wherever you are, wherever you're starting, and whether you are in your dark place or in your success place or whatever you do, you just be honest to yourself. Honesty, be honest with everyone else. If you need help, tell them. People are often compassionate and understand where you're coming from, your colleague, your boss, anyone. If you're struggling with your work, if you honestly talk to them, they are not going to downgrade you. Actually, they're going to praise you for being honest and working through that. Don't don't suffer in silence. Talking to others, always find your way of getting. We are social animals, so we we
Yes.
get we get our strength from each other. That energy. So just be open.
Amen. What is the theme song of your life? Or what is your favorite go-to song when you run a marathon if you listen to music?
Fighter.
Mm. Okay, and last question. What is your main takeaway from today?
My main takeaway, I always love talking to you, and you're amazing. I think honestly, the things you do, I follow you every single day, inspiring, and that's your the way of giving away things without. I can see you without expectation. That's a credit to you, and it takes you far, far to wherever you want to be. I think one of the thing is in this world we're living, just practice, give away without expectation. Things comes back to you. That's the thing. And yeah, thank you for the opportunity and letting me, giving me that opportunity to reflect again over my life.
Oh, thank you. Oh my
Thank you.
gosh, that just
Thank
makes
you.
my heart sing. Thank you so, so much for your kind words. I'm just like so grateful that you have been here with me today
Thank you.
and that you just shared your inspiring story. Like it's
Thank you.
truly touching, especially that your daughter kind of like kicked all of this off and
Yeah.
how you pulled yourself out of those dark moments and now you're working towards 6 stars on a medal. This is just truly incredible. And I'm so happy we have this connection. I'm happy that I can follow your journey as well. Maybe at
Thank you.
some point we will pick up Mandarin again.
Yes, we will.
Yes.
That's something we will do, and it just have to be at the right time.
Yes, we just gotta work on our why and intrinsic
Yeah.
motivation. One last thing is where can people find you? Where can they follow you? What is the best way to reach out to you if they have any questions for you? If you're happy to answer
Okay,
them.
my running stories is on my Instagram page, and I do post a lot. Sometimes feel too much, but that's me. Somayeh runs. That's my page, and professional page is LinkedIn. Even on LinkedIn, I do post about running too. So
It truly is your thing.
yes, that's me. Yes, but anyway, they they can connect with me, and I would love to be connected with other people and have a chat, maybe have a coffee, virtual coffee or something.
Amazing. I will also put all your handles and your LinkedIn link in
Thank you.
the description box below. And with that, it's a wrap. Thank you so much. And to
Thank
all the
you.
listeners, I see you next Monday and wish you a fantastic week.
Thank you so much. You too. You're doing an amazing job.
Oh,
I like the way you're persistent and you keep going and going and going. You get where you want to be.
to rule the world. No, no.
Of course not. Of course, you can do
I
everything
could.
you
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
to.